Hello, folks. I would like to give you one more college essay example, but I'd also like to talk to you about dates. I would like your final drafts to be submitted to me by Thursday of next week. That's October 12th. That's right after the SATs. Miss Daly is gone Thursday, Friday, and Monday of this week and next week. So that means that when she comes back Tuesday, you'll have all of Tuesday and all of Thursday to finalize those essay drafts, okay? You can certainly be working on them when the substitute teacher for Miss Daly is there, but we're going to wait to give you, we're going to wait till Miss Daly is back for you to finalize everything, because that's the person you've been working with. So, yes, final draft's due on Thursday, and that's what your final grade is going to come out of, okay? I'm going to go over another college essay example, and we are going to talk about its strengths. We're also going to talk about one section that we weren't able to develop fully. The student ran out of time, and this was a very hard essay for her to write. So first of all, I want to talk about bravery when we're completing personal essays. It's hard to share yourself through writing, but that's what this college essay is all about. It's also really hard to be specific through writing. So I want to share with you a little bit about the experience that this student had writing this college essay, and she's given me permission to share this. Her name is Aaliyah. So last year Aaliyah was writing, and she just started writing about her parents' divorce. And I knew Aaliyah as a writer. She'd already written some creative pieces or some free writes for the English class, and she was phenomenal. So as she's writing these pieces or paragraphs or openings on divorce and her parents' divorce, it wasn't her voice. Her specific style wasn't coming through, and there wasn't anything particularly unique about the story. Lots of people's parents get divorced, and so, of course, with a college essay, we want it to be singular, meaning we want it to be the only one like it. We want it to stand out because you are the only person like you, right? So I had that conversation with her, and I said, come on, there's something else going on here. This isn't that it wasn't her writing, but it wasn't her best writing, and it wasn't the story she needed to tell. And I didn't know what story she did need to tell, but we weren't there yet. And she got really emotional and started crying, and then I felt terrible, of course. And she said, I know the story I have to tell, but I don't know if I'm strong enough to tell it. And so, of course, I was like, oh no, what's going on? But Aaliyah overcame her fear, shared a really vulnerable story that's really profound, and her essay was really, really excellent, and she worked really hard on it. And so that's what I'm going to share with you today. We'll specifically look at the way that she is able to bring an experience to life, to the point where you, as the listener, feel everything. We're also going to talk about transitions, because that's the section I talked about before that we ran out of time for her to work on, because she spent so much time revising and getting to this essay over all the other essays she kept trying to write. But it's hard in the limited amount of space you have in a college essay to move from the middle of an experience to the summary of that experience and what you've learned. And that's the piece that's missing in her essay. It certainly didn't do her any harm. She was admitted into Central Florida University, and she's doing really well. She's in an English 101 class, and her professor loves her writing. So it didn't cost her anything that we weren't able to complete the essay the way that we both wanted to. However, I just want you to listen for that, and we'll use that section as a teaching opportunity. So if you're writing a story that's similar and you're running out of space, we need to strategize about how we can transition from the situation to what you learned and where you are now. Okay? All right. Without further ado, here is Miss Aaliyah Gonzalez's college essay. I woke up. I didn't intend to. Depression, anxiety, and mental illness had caused me to break down completely, and I didn't want to live like that anymore. This feeling crept in when I was very young and continued to impact my life as I grew, never leaving. I was 9 years old when my parents finalized their divorce. This was the start of my unraveling. It felt like I was being torn in half by my parents' custody battle, and I often found myself crying when I was alone. Now here I was at 17 years old in the prime of my youth, waking up on a summer day, feeling like I had just emptied every part of myself out. Damn. I woke up, I thought. Eight deep cuts on my arm by a razor blade and a handful of pills that were long forgotten by my mother is what I used. I lay on the floor of my bedroom, leaning slightly against my bed. I remember feeling numb and cold and grabbing my blanket from my bed and covering myself. I kept thinking that this is what I wanted to know, what I needed. I felt like I was making the right decision. It was maybe around midnight that I drifted off. I don't know whether it was from blood loss or pills. All I knew was that by morning, I wouldn't be there. But I was wrong. I woke up from what felt like a dream to my alarm blaring and all of my senses in full swing. The first thing I did was run straight to the bathroom to throw up. I couldn't help but cry at the taste of bile in my tongue and the metallic smell of blood in the air. I quickly showered and washed my face and threw on my uniform for the last day of school. I took the last final for my junior year, and I did well considering what had happened the previous night. It wasn't until I boarded a plane to Florida to see my father that I was able to be aware of my surroundings. When I got there, I felt better instantly. I don't know if it was because I was in the place I felt most comfortable, or if it was because I was seeing my father after so long. Then I went straight into my grandmother's house from the airport. It was past midnight, and she'd been waiting all day to see me. I was brought to tears when I saw my entire family there. I felt like the world had been lifted from my shoulders. I suddenly felt invincible, like I could accomplish anything. It was like everything that happened 24 hours earlier had never even occurred. I thought, thank God I woke up. However, in the next few days, I began to feel depression edge its way back into my life. And then it hit me. No one can know I did this. No one can see my sins. The sudden shame of my action hit me so hard, I felt like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't possibly let anyone know what I'd done to myself. My social life was over, I thought. This situation made me realize a lot about myself. I've learned that it's okay to be sad. There are so many people who feel like I do, and I feel that truth because it takes a broken heart to know a broken heart. It also made me realize my potential as an honors student. It made me want to change myself academically. Since the beginning of the school year, I've managed to maintain straight A's and a positive attitude. Depression is an aspect of my life that will always be there. However, I continue to strive. I continue to survive. I continue to wake up. All right, so a beautiful essay, particularly her use of description and her voice and her style of writing. And I want you to notice how she started in the middle of the story, waking up, right? And then she has this beautiful symmetry where the first line of the college essay is, I woke up, and the final line is, I continue to wake up. That's a great, great use of symmetry and balance in her writing. Very, very wonderful. So her vivid imagery draws the reader in. Her analysis of what happened and what she went through is really advanced, and as a sample of writing, this is really, really powerful. And then her kind of changing perception. So she captures the feeling of depression, coming out of depression, going back to depression really well in like 2 paragraphs. That's pretty incredible. The part that we would have liked to have developed more is between the second and the last paragraph. So when she says that she was so grateful that she woke up, and then she felt the depression coming back because she felt shame for trying to take her life. There should be a transition sentence there, paragraph there, where she explains how she got out of that part of it. She does say in the conclusion that she learned a lot from this, but she was working on another paragraph, and we had to submit the application, so there wasn't time. But I want you guys to be aware of when I say I need more context or more background, that's what I'm talking about. When you're describing this story about yourself and something you've learned, something you've developed through or grown through, we want to kind of see all the steps. Now that's really hard to do in 2 pages, but it is something we need to work on. Either way, this is a really powerful piece of writing, particularly, like I said, the balance of starting while she woke up, then giving us the backstory, and then ending saying, no matter what, I continue to wake up. Just a really, really, really beautiful piece, and a really courageous young woman. And I love that her story focuses on hope And I love that she wrote it because part of her motivation was to give other people hope. So that is the last college essay I wanted to share with you. And please contact me with any questions. And she said that we can use this, so if you'd like a copy of her essay, I'm more than happy to provide that for you. All right, so college essay final draft is due next Thursday, a week from tomorrow. That is October 12th, and then you will have your final grades. All right, thank you so much. Bye.